Hi everyone. Welcome back to my vlog. I was really happy with this episode. I thought it was a good episode and a lot of food for thought. I have a ton of notes. So let's get started. Redemption Island. I think the biggest mistake that was made on Redemption Island today was that Galang didn't cheer for Laura. They were like very timid. They didn't really do anything. And I think by voting her out and blindsiding her the way they did, they really made an enemy instead of keeping her as a friend. I almost think they could have pulled off telling her that they wanted her to go to Redemption Island so that she could beat Brad, and convincing her it was a good idea because someone would come back into the game soon, and that way she would feel loyal to them and actually feel empowered, because she was already feeling vulnerable after having gotten a lot of votes the first time around, like that very first day. So I think they could have managed her a little bit better. And at the very least, if they were still going to blindside her, because she might have said, no, I don't want to go on Redemption Island, which would have been the smarter thing to do. I would understand that. But I think they should have at least cheered for her and said, like, we're rooting for you, like, we didn't want to vote you out or something. They could have done a better job at. I think there's a good chance she'll make it back, and I am rooting for her to make it back. Even at this stage, like, John, I was more interested in Candace making it back than John. And even with the new person who made it to Redemption Island, I have absolutely no interest in seeing that person back. So this is your chance to stop watching if you haven't seen the episode yet, because I will talk about that person later. Tribe swap. We knew this was going to happen. I'm excited about it. I think that we'd seen enough of the dynamics right now, so I think the tribe swap was interesting. So for those of you who need a reminder, Tyson, Jervis, and Aris moved to Tadana, while Vytas and Katie moved to Galang, which means the only couple playing together between loved one and returning player is Tina and Katie. So that mix happened interestingly in that sense. I think this was very good for Tyson and Jervis. But I don't think it was very good for Vytas or Aris. It was also good for Katie because she gets to just be with her mother and kind of like stay in her shadow. And as we saw, she really doesn't do anything or contribute at all in this episode. Well, we'll see how it goes. I think Tyson and Jervis made the most of it, getting information. I'm really surprised at how easily Tadana or original Tadana members were at giving that information. They just gave it away for free, essentially. I mean, they even gave away the idol clue. They could have at least pretended not to know about that. I mean, that was crazy to me. I'm positive that Tyson's going to find it somehow. It seems crazy to me. Vytas went into major, like, I'm going to make the best of this mode, which is great. And he did a very good job because he was definitely in a bad position. Whereas, like I said, Katie just went under Tina's wing. And we basically, at one point in the episode, I actually thought it was a tribe of five. So that was kind of funny. Anyway, back to the action. The challenge was very physical. So it was, I was convinced that the stronger tribe, not that the women aren't strong, but it just seems that with Tyson and Aris and Hayden in one tribe, like I thought it was a good chance that they were going to win. Although clearly I'm wrong in thinking that, because if Tina and Laura B hadn't messed up, they could have very well just taken it. That was really painful to watch. That was so it's surprising at how much they caught up, given that they had to do that leg twice. And the cheers were also painful to watch. Like they were cheering as though they'd won. And for us as spectators, it was obvious that there was something that was misaligned. So that was hard to watch. I also wonder why Tina took all the responsibility after the challenge and apologized. I get, that's cool that she did that, even though she was in a powerful position. She wouldn't have to. And Laura was just mute, didn't say anything. That kind of pissed me off. But kudos to Vytas for keeping his cool. He really did a great job at just doing each thing right in order to maximize his chances of staying. So let's talk about the vote, Galang. I think that my original thought would be the best alliance group would be for Monica and Tina to stay together, bring in Katie, so that, you know, there's at least a third person there. And so they're still keeping their alliance at 5 with Aris, Tyson, and Jervis. And they could even add Vytas to that and then have a majority of 4. So it's also part of that original strong alliance, because it seems like that's the strongest alliance that we've seen in the game so far. However, since Tyson and Jervis want Aris out, I guess that they're not, you know, in the end, it's not a bad move to go for the all-female alliance, and, you know, worry about the fact that the guys might do an all-guys alliance. So I would have gone for keeping the 5 strong and bringing Vytas and Katie on board, and then getting either Kat or Laura B out. But they went for the all girls alliance, and then Kat had to go ahead and just be, I don't know what she was thinking. Like, it was just such a silly move. I don't want to call her stupid, but clearly she just doesn't know enough about Survivor, doesn't know how to play the game. She literally just repeated what they were saying at the very beginning when Galang wasn't going to any tribals and there was no reason for them to try to strategize, and it was like the top of the game. And all of a sudden she's like, oh, no, I see Monica strategizing, so that's bad, and I'm going to talk crap about her behind her back. And that was stupid, first of all, because she actually genuinely thought that. She was like, no, we were told not to strategize. Like, there comes a point you have to strategize, girl. Like, you just your tribes just swapped. Like, you need to talk about it, you know? And they made it look like Monica was being, like, very aggressive about it. I'm sure that was for editing, even though, you know, I also believe that she was talking about it. But then, you know, Tina talked to Monica about it. I get it. Like, trust is a big thing. But then Monica went back to Kat about it. I mean, why would you do that? That was just like, that was clearly just sentimental, trying to get validation of why Kat wanted to vote Monica out. Like, there was no constructive lesson out of that. And then Kat, in addition to that, dug her own grave even more by lying to Monica when it was obvious she was lying. Like, Kat doesn't know how to lie. So Kat really just played this awfully. And, like, her one move this game so far was she just failed at completely. And then obviously the only thing she was worried about is how Hayden would feel about it. And, like, no one wants to date someone who gets voted off pre-merge. I mean, okay, look, if that's all she's worried about, then I'm not too upset that she got voted out. And Vytas played all his cards right. He really did, you know? Like, he shut his mouth even though he was pissed after the challenge. He opened up and was vulnerable and totally charmed those mother figures that really just wanted to, you know, were all too open to bringing him into their hearts. And at the end, he, like, drove it home by saying, I haven't betrayed anyone. It is a trust issue. How do you know? You know, like, he did it really well. Kudos to Vytas. And plus, I really wanted him to stay. I love Vytas, so I'm very glad about that outcome. To Donna, I guess I want to talk about them a little bit before next episode because of the preview we saw. Clearly, there's some contention between Hayden, or from Hayden towards Tyson. And maybe this was the editing, but I think Tyson was just, like, too obvious with his quips against Aris and his, like, I mean, the food thing, I don't think he was as obvious as we saw, but I think that might be a little not such a good move on Tyson's part. And he shouldn't underestimate Aris. I think, like, Aris was, like, super quiet, even though Tyson was making all those jabs at him. And I think that's a mistake, but hopefully Tyson will have Jervis on his side and can do something about that. I think another possible target could be Caleb, because Caleb turned on Brad last minute at that last tribal council that Tadana had. And Hayden probably doesn't still trust him 100%, but the thing is, Hayden really doesn't trust Tyson, obviously, so they might just, like, get back together. I don't know. I think the better move here would be for Tyson and Jervis to actually stay with Aris, and then bring on Sierra as the girl that was, like, always on the bottom at Tadana, and then they get rid of either Hayden or Caleb. Hayden, who would be a threat in the merge and individual challenges. So I think that would have been my choice move. Anyway, this is a long one, lots of thoughts, so I can't wait to hear what stood out for you guys, and leave me comments. Bye.